Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and or murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when the next cases are released. Any updates to cases will be pinned in the comments section of each video. On September 3rd, 2017 in Columbia, Maryland, Howard County Police found 25-year-old Meiko Locksley laying in the grass, shot. A neighbor heard 2 shots and then looked out the window where they saw Locksley bleeding from the head in the grass. Locksley was taken to shock trauma where he passed away. On August 19, 2022, John Willie Kennedy admitted to lying and gave the description of the suspect in the murder and the possible motive. Kennedy said that the victim told him that the suspect was a snitch for the cops. And when he and Meiko Locksley were outside, the suspect appeared and asked why he was being called, quote, a rat, end quote. It was then that Locksley was shot. On September 2023, John Willie Kennedy pled guilty to federal obstruction charges relating to the murder of Meiko Locksley. Kennedy lived in the townhome behind where Locksley was found. Police looked into his phone records and discovered that he was in contact with Meiko. He admitted that, quote, he might have, end quote, sold marijuana to the victim before the murder, but denied knowing the identity of the suspect. The murder weapon used was found by federal investigators in Baltimore City, and that it had been passed around multiple times on the street. The murder of Meiko Locksley is still unsolved. 16-year-old Treykia Jones had a difficult life. Her mom was addicted to drugs, so she allowed her neighbor to take care of Treykia. Treykia's mom told the neighbor that, quote, she wasn't a fit parent for Treykia, end quote. The neighbor gave Treykia a place to stay, food, laundry, and basically just took care of her. At 12:52 a.m. on May 11, 2004, a friend went to check on Treykia at her neighbor's house and found her naked and bleeding in her bed. She had been shot in the head, and there were no evidence of forced entry. Unfortunately, there has been no photograph released of Treykia, so the picture that you're seeing is of the apartment where she was murdered. Annapolis police are still looking for the person who took Treykia's life. Michael Lee Wise was a 24-year-old father on October 31st, 2019 in Glen, Burnie, Maryland. He was dressed up as Mario and was out trick-or-treating with his girlfriend and young daughter. His daughter was in a stroller, and at 7:20 p.m., Michael Wise was shot multiple times in the middle of the neighborhood. 2 subjects were seen running from the scene. This murder is also unsolved. 38-year-old Marlene Hayes was a mother and wife. She worked with her husband in Belair, Maryland, and they lived there as well. On March 17, 1981, she went home early from work because she wasn't feeling well. Around 3 p.m., her 16-year-old son came home from school and found his mother on the kitchen floor, tied at her hands and ankles. She had been murdered by blunt force trauma to her head, and she was also stabbed. The police believe that she came home and interrupted a robbery as she was still wearing her raincoat. Whoever murdered Marlene also stole her car. The car was later found nearby at William James Elementary School. Her murder is still at large. Thank you for joining me this week. If there is a Maryland's missing or murdered case you'd like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com My X account is Maryland's M&M. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. And I'll see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.